Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita Livestream of August the 16th, 2024. Could the Space Angels replace the Avengers or the Justice League? Where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host and stream manager and producer and janitor, Creek Indian from Denver, Colorado. And with me, we have Smendrick19. He is from Deutschland or Germany. How's it going, Smendrick?
Hello, everybody. Hello, Hunter Warriors. Hello, Uncle Creek. Yeah, here it is 31 degrees Celsius in my room. So it's very hot and early in the morning, just 1 minute after midnight.
Wow, man, that's like 90 degrees Fahrenheit, I think, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
There's no point even trying to sleep in that.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. You have a ceiling fan or something, Smendrick, or
Yeah, I have a normal fan. It looks like a tower, a radiator, and a cooling machine called monoblock. But this machine is so loud, I had to stop it before the stream with Vladdy and you. And so it's getting warm here.
well, what you could do, Smendrick, you could turn it on and just mute your mic, and then when you want to say something, you can unmute.
That wouldn't help much. This machine is so loud, and I don't have a noise cancellation here, noise reduction system, so I wouldn't hear you even with my headphones on. That would be too horrible.
Oh, well, sorry about that then. Well, just hopefully you won't have to suffer through it too much. So
the day was very hard, and it's the third or fourth day in the row where we have such temperatures and temperature warnings by our authorities. So yeah, it's not so nice.
Well, but take it easy in that heat then.
Yeah. Okay.
And from the Shires in Western UK or jolly old England, we have Lottie. How's it going, Lottie?
Kind of west, not that west.
Well, not
sort of
that
like between. It's like southwest-ish.
Southwest-ish. Down there, probably around not Leicester, but Mousehole and St. Mawes. Some of those areas.
Not
well,
really.
Those are on
I don't want to be too specific.
Yeah. Well, those are on the coast, so yeah, you wouldn't be down there. So
no.
Yeah. So, guys, how's it going? I guess Smendrick's burning up, but Lottie, how are you doing? Are you? What's the weather like?
Yeah, we've had nice weather, but it's not been painfully hot like it is on the continent.
Yeah.
I'm always moaning about how crap the weather is, but we've had a nice couple of days now.
Yeah,
it's not too hot.
We're doing okay here. I think it's about 75 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 25, maybe 20 to 25 degrees.
Ooh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, but it's kind of warm, but it's unusually, well, I would say it's not unusual for this time of year, but we do sometimes get temperature rather well up into the hundreds here in the Fahrenheit, which is about 35, maybe 33 degrees Celsius, something like that, so or 35 degrees Celsius. So we get those kind of temperatures here. Now, as hot as it gets here, sometimes it's nothing compared to Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, these places. It gets really hot there. So, but yeah, we're doing okay here as well, I think. Okay, so I guess we can move on. First thing I want to say is that next month on September the 14th, Charlie Smith and I are going to see our Queen perform in the Pasadena Playhouse. I'm hoping that her part is Roxanne in the play Cyrano de Bergerac, because Roxanne is kind of the main love interest of the two characters in there. So it'd be kind of cool, you know, to see two guys fighting over our queen.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we're really looking forward to that. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I think one of the things I might try to do, and I'm not sure this is, I'll have to ask somebody at the Playhouse, I guess, is maybe buy a single rose and have maybe a little card attached to it that says the Alita Army loves Rosa, you know, and then give
I
that
told them to
to
throw
her.
roses at the stage when they're doing the applause.
Well, I'd like to hand it to her because I don't want just somebody to
Do they
pick
still
it
do
up.
that? Do they
I
still
don't
throw
know.
stuff
That's
at the
well,
stage?
I don't know. I'm going to have to call them and ask them if there's anything like that going on. They may say, no, we don't do any of that kind of thing. So I guess then I wouldn't buy a rose. But if they say, yeah, if you're down in the front row, maybe, which we are, then you can, you know, get her attention after the play and then hand her the rose, you know, and that's what I would like to do, you know, to let her know that the Alita Army just adores her, you know, and we love her a lot. So anyway, that's kind of what my plan is, and we'll see how that shakes out. So, but yeah, it's going to be fun.
Let her see your shirts.
Oh yeah, we got shirts.
What do the shirts look like? You mentioned they made an error. Did they spell Alita Army wrong or something?
No, they didn't spell it wrong. What the guy did was he didn't do a very good job cutting out the logo. Now, and there was some kind of white spots beside it, you know, and it looks like we lost Lottie for a second. But anyway,
Yeah.
but what I did do though is I took a black magic marker and kind of colored over the white spots, and it looks okay from a distance. I don't like it up close that much, you know. I mean, it's not terrible, but you know, I'm gonna see about.
But didn't you have it as a digital image version?
Well, I gave them a transparent PNG, and then evidently they didn't. That didn't work so well. So I'm considering, you know, taking the shirts back to them and have them put the logo with a black background over the logos we have now. I may do that. And I don't know if that's going to work. See, that's the only problem. You know, it may not work. So I'm going to try it, and if it doesn't work, then I'll just buy 2 more shirts, you know, and then
exactly. But you have to hurry a little bit.
No, I got the shirts within like 3 days. I ordered them on Amazon. I got them in 3 days, so it was not a big deal. And the people that own the I guess the anime world there in the mall here, they did it for me. They willing to do it for me. But this guy kind of, I don't know if he was new at doing it or something like that, but he didn't cut out the logo as well as I would like for him to, you know. But anyway, we're gonna get around it.
Maybe there were white spots on your PNG that you just didn't notice. Because
no, there
sometimes
weren't.
when I try and crop something out, I don't quite brush everything out, and there's like little dots around that I don't see.
No, this is not dots. These aren't dots. This is a whole white, like a triangle, a big triangle. It's over half the size of the A. That's because but I colored it out. But I don't know. I'm gonna take it to him again because there's another person in there that does this.
We can judge.
Well, I can't do that right now. But anyway, we're gonna get around this because we want to show Rosa that we really care about her. You know, that the Alita Army loves her.
That's
and
most important.
Yeah, she's our queen, and we absolutely adore her, you know. So we want her to know that the Alita Army's pulling for her, you know. That's what we want, you know. Yeah. So hopefully she'll see us there. But if she doesn't, you know, we're not going to make a scene or anything. You know, we're not going to do anything like that.
Oh, that's okay. But for
With-
us,
with
it's
my-
important
well-
that she knows that we are still with her.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
most important thing.
Yeah.
Vladdy, we lost your avatar picture.
Have
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Well,
It
he's
looks okay on my end. It's still got me looking up at my berserker body.
well, it's it's just a white
I rejoin?
circle. Yeah. No, it's up to you. It doesn't matter. You know, if you want to rejoin, you can. But,
Might as well.
yeah. Now that we got rid of him, we won't let him back on.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no, no,
the-
no, no.
it-
No,
it-
we're
it
gonna let him
works.
on. We'll let him back on. But yeah, we we adore Rosa, man. She's great. We just want to show our support. That's all we want to do. We do
Yeah.
nothing else. You know, we're not going to be.
This is really. She should know that we are a very
No.
family, a very friendly fandom.
I
The
think
most
she knows
wholesome
that.
fandom in the world.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think she knows that. You know, because she gives us shout outs. You know, from time to time, so she knows us.
Yeah, but it's a long time ago. She had contact. She was in contact with us.
Yeah.
Or wasn't she?
Yeah. She was when she was on, especially when she was on Instagram, you know, but of course she's not now, you know. But
yeah.
and yes, Angelus, there's plenty of ooh woo there, isn't there? Absolutely. So and Angelus says they might have security between the front row and the stage, but I'm going to find out about that. I'm going to call them up and tell them what my intention is, and not to be a pain in the ass or anything like that. You know, just see what the procedure is, you know. And if it's if they want to be tight security on this, that's great. I have no problem with that. So okay, well, I could stay on these. I could stay on this slide.
Is Angelus coming on or what?
No, he's at work. He got called in, you know. So yeah, and plus he gets I guess extra pay for working on the weekend, so you can't blame him, you know. Yeah, for sure, you know. But yeah, I mean, I could stay on this slide for another 20 minutes, but I think we'll move on because there's plenty of ooh-woo on this slide, you know, that's for sure. We also have Rosa's Queen Studios bust of Alita. Now, my original intent is if I heard back from either Rosa or her agents or the Pasadena Playhouse that, you know, I was going to drive down there with this thing, but I haven't heard from them. And I sent them a letter. I tagged them on a tweet, and I sent them an email, and I've heard nothing. So, you know, I'm not going to be kind of a pain in the ass about that as well. I'm going to say, okay, well, you know, they're not going to do that. So I'll just fly down there, which is, you know, I'm all set up. I got my airline tickets. I got my hotel room and stuff like that. So I'm good. And my hotel is only like maybe a half a mile from the Playhouse, I think. That's a kilometer for some of you folks, or maybe a little less than a kilometer. Yeah. So, yeah, and that way we just take Uber over to the Playhouse. I'm going to meet Charlie at the Playhouse and give him his shirt. Now tomorrow, I'm going to probably mail Charlie his shirt. He sent me his address, and I'm going to mail him his shirt. You know, and that way he can have it on. He won't have to run into the bathroom to put his shirt on or anything that. You know. Okay. So, but anyway, we want to present this to Rosa someday as kind of an expression of our admiration and our appreciation, that kind of thing for her, you know, because like I said in the previous slide, we really adore Rosa. She's great. You know, she's a super duper actress. I mean, I've seen her in a couple of things, and she's knocked my head off. But well, certainly she knocked my head off in Alita. That's for damn sure, you know. Yeah, Angelus, the Creek meeting Angelus there too. That was the highlight of my year, pretty much, you know. So we got to do some fun stuff there in Austin. You know, we went to McKinney Falls, and we went to this VR place that was kind of extraordinary, and we ate at a couple of good restaurants, and it was pretty nice. You know, we had a good time. I guess Angelus and his cousin Ernst and I, you know, we just kind of did our thing, you know, around Austin for a couple of days, and that was a lot of fun, you know. So anyway, we do want to present this to Rosa as kind of like our presentation to her, is like we're giving her an Oscar. You know, that's the way we think about it. And this thing is sitting in my house right now. So, you know, one day we'll get it to her. You know, I'm not really too worried about it. It's not bothering me at all. You know, it's just, I just really do want to give it to her. And that's the only bother I guess I have. But, you know, it's still in the box. I haven't opened it. And I'm not going to open it until I get word that Rosa says, yes, I'll accept it, or something like that. Or I get word back from her agent, you know. And, you know,
dump it on our front porch.
No.
Ring the doorbell and be like, wow.
Well, first of all, I don't know where she lives, so that wouldn't be too good.
Yeah.
I might put it on somebody else's front porch. You know, we don't want to do that, you know.
Of course. Just checking.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, we really want to give this to Rosa. And it's not a gift, like I said, it's an award from the Alita Army for being so great, you know. We also got the Alita sequel petition going on, and
we have some addition signature.
Well, I started promoting it, you know, on my channel, and we've only picked up, now my promotion hadn't been going that long. It's only been going a couple of days, but it did pick up like 3 signatures in the first day or something like that. So, you know, I think we'll, you know, I've got it set up to go for 10 days, the promotion. So hopefully we'll pick up some more signatures on that, you know.
Yeah, and I promoted it on Blue Sky. So
yeah. Well, I'm promoting
let's hope the best.
Yeah, I'm promoting on Google Ads. So, you know, which costs a little money, but that's all right. You know, I'm not doing too bad money wise. So, you know,
well, wouldn't you be better off just donating to the actual? Can't you pay for it in change.org? There's a thing where you just give them money and then they
I can do that for sure, but that's not promoting it. You see what I'm saying? That gives them money.
And by the way,
the folks that are on the stream here that are looking at this, and the folks that are going to be watching this after the stream, to sign this petition, you do not have to give money. You can just sign a petition with your name and your email, and you're done. Now, if you want to give money, they do have that function on there. You do it. But what I'm saying, Bloody, is by me promoting it on Google Ads, YouTube will, you know, really push that video that I made. And it was the video of her and Ito, you know, they were, I guess, Ito was in front of that kiosk, and they were looking for Grishka, if you remember the scene. And he said, looks like, you know, somebody's, you know, protecting Grishka. And then Alita says, who has the power to do that? And he says, somebody far above us here. Well, I kind of, you know, edited in some AI voice over Ito's voice. So it looked like, you know, they were saying, well, in the video, it says I had where he was up on the kiosk where it was showing pictures of MCU movies going through it, you know.
Yeah, I love this edit, really.
And you know, it's like so it looks like there's no information on no Alita sequel information or something like that. And he says, somebody's stopping it, you know, and she said, who has the power to do that? And he says, somebody way above us here. And then she pulls, and then he says, we better not do anything for now, or something like that. And she pulls him and says, I'll find out for myself, and it runs off. And I think you guys know the scene. So I kind of, you know, put a couple of little extra dialogue in there to make it look like they were talking about, they were looking for the sequel, you know. So, but, and then of course, after that, I have a piece in there to say, please sign the petition. And there's links down in the, you know, down in the description and stuff like that. So, but anyway, God, the creek can ramble. I'm sorry, guys. But if you haven't signed a petition, anybody on the stream here, which I think just about everybody on the stream here has probably signed it. But anybody that is watching this after the stream is over,
What about Lost Link? Has he signed the stream?
I don't know.
He
Lost
just
Link.
joined. I'm putting him on the spot because he just joined. So
Yeah, yeah, I see he's out in the chat. So yeah, that's. But anybody that has not signed the petition, there's a link down in the description below the image on the screen. There, it's that same link you see that's below the image. But click on that. All you have to do is enter your name and your email. You do not have to donate any money. Okay, now if you want to, you can for sure. You know, you can definitely do that. But if you don't, that's all right. You just sign this. This is our way of reminding Disney that we want this sequel. And actually, we want sequels is what we want. So, but this was started, you know, before the talk of the Alita 2 and 3 came out with Cameron, you know, and even before the Blood Oath. So, but anyway.
I knew you had Lost Link. I never doubted you.
Yes. So, yeah, just about everybody on the stream here has already signed it, I think. So, but anyway, that is that. And we got the Alita Gaming Network, and we've added a couple of new channels there under the category of Watch Party. And Matu did that for me, I think, yesterday. And we can, start watching movies on that. So anybody that has a request for a movie they want to watch, and it doesn't have to be Alita Battle Angel. Of course, if it is, it is. You know, I'm all right with that. But it can be any movie. You know, typically I don't like, and I'm not the one that's going to edit this. We'll put any movie on there you want. You know, but it's not going to be porn though. We're not going to do anything like that. You know, but Discord is not as well, I get they, they're not as restrictive, I guess, in terms of watching movies as say YouTube is, because this is a private network. So, it's not like, everybody in the world is watching the movie for nothing, and it's, just stuff that Matu and I are administering, so anyway, if you want to see a movie, if you want to do a watch party sometime, just shoot me a DM. You can do it on Twitter or X. You could do it in Discord if you want, or Facebook, in case, you don't know what my Facebook name is. It's Gary Villeneuve. And if it's a hard name to spell, and I'm not going to do it, or on Instagram, I'm Creek Indian on Instagram as well. So, and I'm on Blue Sky. I'm also Creek Indian on Blue Sky. So shoot me a DM and we'll, start moving things in that direction, and we'll schedule a watch party, when we get some people who want to watch it. And, and this is something where we don't have to, like we do on this stream and on the Radio Chaos stream, where you got to queue up the movie and you go, 3, 2, 1, go, and you're watching it on your system, and you're, kind of hoping that you're playing at the same speed as what we're doing on the stream. Here we just watch the movie, it's going to be right there on your screen. So kind of like what we did last week with Maxie's birthday, when we played the anime on there, it's like that. So but anyway, shoot me a DM of some sort, let me know, and we'll start putting things together, and when we get folks that want to watch it, we'll just start watching it. But that's not all we're going to be able to do on this on the Alita Gaming Network. Certainly anybody can post content here. It doesn't have to be just Alita content. We got an off-topic channel that you could post some other stuff there. The only thing that I would say is that the one thing that Matu and I will not put up with is any kind of porn posting or any kind of like politics or religion or anything like that. We're not going to put that. We're not going to have that on there. We'll delete that. So. But anything else, we want this to be strictly a fun thing. We don't want this to turn into some damn toxic, server or something like that. We don't want that. We just want it to be fun. Yeah, that's right. Anything that's not safe for work or politics or porn or any of that stuff, we don't want on there. Exactly. So, And you can see we got text channels, we got some voice channels. I think Vladi, did you ever? Yeah, not safe for work. That's right, Angelus. Vladi, did you and Smendrick, did y'all do that thing on the gaming network here last week?
Yeah, we were just playing that before this stream.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
The guy was going through some inner psychological turmoil.
Ah,
The character in the game.
nice.
He's trying to solve some big mystery in the cyberpunk
Good
future.
cyberpunk mood.
Yeah, really good cyberpunk
I
vibe.
love it. And a good score. A really good score.
Yeah,
Now
really nice music.
Well, the link you see below the little chibi Alita right there. I think I'm not sure how this thing works. Matu could tell me better, but I think that thing only works once. And when the first person that clicks on it, of course, they can get into it. Excuse me. After that, you click on it, it just takes you to your Discord, is all it does. So if that happens, you click on it and it doesn't let you in, just take your Discord, just send me a message on Discord, or you can do it on Instagram, or you can do it on X, and I will send you specifically an invite. That way you can, join the gaming network. I think we got 29 people on there now, so we're still in the infant stages here. It's only been going for maybe 6 weeks to a month, 2 months. So we're still pretty small, but it's really cool. We have a lot of fun on there. I try to post something on there every day if I can. And I think I know Chaos Nova, he posts stuff on there. I know Angelus has put some stuff on Stellar Blade on there, and you've just heard that Smendrick and Vladi are playing the game there. And by the way, anybody could join you guys, can't they, and watch you play it? Is that right, Vladi?
Yeah, well, obviously, because the link issue, only a few people are around, so
yeah. So anyway, but shoot me a DM of some sort, and if you can't get in, you want to join, shoot me that DM, and I will get you in for sure.
Yeah.
Or you could send one to Matu as well; she'll get you in as well. So okay, and Creek's channel hit over 170,000 subscribers. So we're still moving on, and this is the more subscribers, the better it is for our girl, and hopefully the better chances we get for sequels. So, we're still battling that, and I'm hoping that somebody takes notice and say, Jesus, this guy's got 170 subscribers. There must be a demand for Alita Battle Angel out there, which there is. So, hopefully that'll come to pass one day, I guess.
Yep.
So,
Hope so.
yeah. All right. I guess that's about all I can think of. You guys got anything else of an introductory nature that you want to?
Yeah, happy birthday, Mr. Cameron.
Yes, indeed. James Cameron's birthday. I put a reply on that that said happy birthday, and he'll say Creek Indian. Who the hell is that? yeah, that's right. That's
as long as you sign with Alita Army, he knows.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it does. It has Creek Indian Alita Army on it. So yeah.
Yeah, he knows us.
Yeah,
I'm sure about that.
Oh yeah, he does know us. Remember, he told Lita the Calligritus that he was okay with her talking to us on the Radio Chaos stream, and that was a really great stream. I really loved that stream. It was a lot of fun. So anyway, that is what that is. So anyway, let's keep pushing, for all of us need to keep pushing for the for the sequels. We just want that, and if we keep doing not just this, I mean, yeah, I'm proud of having 170,000 subscribers, but I'm not the only person in the Alita Army. All of us are trying to get this sequel, and we're all doing our part. That's what we want, and just keep going for it. Just stay after it until Disney finally caves in. That's what we want. So, all right. Anything else, Vladi or Smendrick?
I'm thinking, but no.
No,
At the moment, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Well, I guess we can just move on to this. Could the Space
What
Angels?
is this topic? This is like my worst nightmare topic.
Well, it's not strictly a superhero topic, which is pretty heavily superhero, kind of relevant topic. But really, what it is, it's not pitting the Space Angels. Now, for those of you who have not read Last Order, the manga, the Space Angels basically were a team, and they had they have a combat tournament called the Zenith of Things tournament, or the ZOT. And the Space Angels, that's Alita's team. And the people there that you see in the image, of course, there's Alita. You see the person on her right shoulder is Zex, or AR6. He is the original. He was originally a female and a replicant. And then he decided he wanted to be a male. So that's the way that one worked out. And then the person on her left shoulder is a cyborg, a woman named Zazie. And Zazie is certainly a cyborg, so she has some fighting skills. But her I guess her forte is being able to handle weapons, and she's very good at it. In terms of being like an expert shot, as an example, you could equate her with somebody like Hawkeye, in the Avengers, because she's that good. And then we got, AR-11 and AR-12, or X, or Elf, or Swerf, or 11 and 12, as it would say there.
Panini Freak and Random Bomb.
Well, yeah, you could.
Exactly. Yeah. They do remind me of them, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, they do, I guess. But anyway, what we're going to do, and this is just a setup right here. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Space Angels. And then we want to, so we can kind of get a little familiar with them for those of you that have not read The Last Order. And then certainly we're going to go back into Alita in her Imaginos 2.1 body, because that's what we're going to put her in this battle, because, or not a battle, in this comparison, because in the Zot, she ends up with the Imaginos 2.1 body, but she actually starts out in the Last Order in Imaginos 1.0 body. So is this right, Blotty? The final boss is Desti Iger. Could be.
Someone's got to make that game.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, we're going to put her in that body, because some of these other teams that we're seeing here, we're going to see not just the Avengers and the Justice League, but we're going to see, Darkseid's team, and we're going to see, I guess, Thanos's team. And we're going to talk a little bit about those teams. And then we're going to pit the Space Angels against the Steppenwolf and the Parademons from Darkseid's army. And we've got a couple of scenarios in there for that. Then we're going to pit the Space Angels against Thanos and the Black Order. And we're going to have a couple, maybe 2 or 3 scenarios on that. And then we're going to talk about the Space Angels, the Avengers, and the Justice League teaming up against the various opponents, and see how that would go. And then, of course, we're going to determine, or we're going to discuss, what we think if the Space Angels could indeed not replace the Avengers so much, or the Justice League, but substitute for them. In other words, could they, in baseball vernacular, could they pinch hit for them? So that's kind of the way that works out. By the way, one thing that's interesting about this, and let me just move on, I guess, about the Space Angels, is that Elf and Swerf that you see there, down there in the bottom of the image there, actually Zex calls them the bunnies, is what he calls them. Now, you would think they're just cutesy little, because they're androids, they're not cyborgs. As a matter of fact, the only cyborg on this team is Zazie. The others are androids, all of them, even Alita, because she has a brain chip, But Elf and Swerf, yeah, they're cute little bunnies, like he says, that kind of thing. But these 2 girls right here, they're berserkers. They're like Alita was in the movie. They're not chumps. As a matter of fact, in the Zot, they actually fought in the Zot, you know, and they won their matches. So they're not, you know, they're not just cute little, you know, things that you would think that were just like cutesy little bunnies. You know, they're formidable fighters. You know, it's kind of like Alita was when she was in her berserker body. Now, there are 3 other members of the Space Angels, but we're not going to put them in the competition itself, but we want to mention them because there's a guy named Ping Wu. I'm not sure if you guys, anybody that's not read the manga, of course, may not know Ping Wu, but he's kind of like the leader or the manager of the team, sort of. And then they got 2 other technicians. One's called Yanni and the other's called Derasi. And they, in other words, if there's any injuries or damage that are done to either Zazie, the cyborg, or the, you know, the ARs, because, you know, well, Alita's not an AR, but she is an android. If there's any damage to their systems or their mechanisms, stuff like that, those technicians, you know, repair them. You know, so they're not going to be in the fight. Now, I think Ping Wu can fight, but I don't recall if he actually fought in the Zot or not. Angelus, if you were here, you could probably tell us. Or Bad Man, you're out there. Oh, that's right. Bad Man, you're right. They're not berserkers. They're tuned. That's right. So scratch that berserker thing. They're tuned. That exactly right. So yeah, the berserkers, that's strictly That's not, yeah. So yeah, that's what they are. But they are still androids because they're replicants of Alita, you know, and they got brain chips as well. But yeah, they're cute, you know. Yeah, they are kind of like our girl Alita. She's cute, you know. But yeah, don't mistake that for weakness. You know, that'd be a big problem, you know. Okay, now you guys have seen versions of this slide, you know, for the past, what, 4 years since I've been doing these streams. Angelus and I have been doing them. Oh wow, that's a great idea, Angelus. That may be something we do in the future right there. Now, in case you don't know who Android 17 and 18, they're from Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, so, yeah, exactly.
And we just have to get Den on the stream for that, or Ox King as he's called now. We got to get him on there for that. So anyway, but anyway, in terms of Alita in her Imaginos 2.1 body, now we're putting them. Yeah, that's right, Bad Man. Alita does start out as a cyborg. But eventually, when she gets, particularly in the last order, she actually is in the tuned program as well in the, I guess, in the manga during the Badlands arc. And then, of course, Nova blows her up, you know, and then kind of rebuilds her, I guess. And she's when he does that, she's in the Imaginos 1.0 body at that point. But she kind of evolves from that. And the body that she ends up in during the Zot when she's fighting Toji is the Imaginos 2.1 body. So we're going to put her in that body because we want the Space Angels to have an OP character on the team, kind of like, say, the Justice League has with Superman, or say the Avengers have with, say, Captain Marvel or the Hulk or Thor. You know, I mean, she needs to be somebody like that because Alita in her tuned body is not going to be able to take on somebody like Thanos. You know, I mean, she's just not going to have enough power to do that. So, okay. So anyway, thanks for that, Bad Man. One of these days, I'd like to get Bad Man back on the stream so he can give us some, increase our knowledge, I guess. But anyway, Alita's strength is in this 2.1 body. She has access to what's called a singularity or a black hole. So imagine the power that you have if you have access to that kind of power. I mean, a black hole is so powerful that light cannot escape it. So, you know, I mean, that's way, way OP. She is really durable in this body, even more so than she was when she was in her tuned body or her berserker body. So she has some pretty fast or even faster self-healing in this body than she would have in those other bodies she's been in. Now, you see the thing, it says her brain processes were sped up like 150 times. Nova did that for her and put that, when Nova rebuilt her, I guess, he made her brain chip process 150 times faster than it did when she was a cyborg, than her human brain. Now, the speed thing, there's a bit of debate here, whether she runs at relativistic speeds or not. I know in the Berserker body, she could run at Mach 6.5, and I've seen some references where Alita is running and everything she's approaching is blue shifted, and everything she's running away from is receding, is red shifted. So that's relativistic speeds, because you can't get that kind of a perception, of what you're doing there unless you're running at speeds that are starting to approach the speed of light. So we're gonna put her in that body to further make her, and it's going to be in accordance with the manga to make her, OP on that one. She has extremely fast reflexes in the Imaginos 2.1 body. She would have to have fast reflexes if she's going to run at high speeds like that. And of course, her brain has been accelerated. The brain chip has been accelerated to the point where it can process information extremely fast, Okay, let's see what Bad Man has to say here. Yeah, our new power source uses a wormhole. That's right. Yeah, wormhole, black hole. Yeah, you're right, though. I think that's right. But still pretty powerful. And yeah, Bad Man's also right that that speed of light thing is only retconned at the ending of the original series. That's true. That's that story I was telling you about. But we're going to keep her at that. We're going to give her that capability in this particular comparison. So, okay, so she's a shapeshifter, so that gives her some ability there that a lot of other characters don't have, and of course, having extremely great stamina. She could fight for days on end without getting tired. She's in this body. Now, it says they're connected to two super advanced quantum computers. Now, I think in one of the cases, the quantum Melchizedek or the avatar for Melchizedek, Arthur, I guess, was destroyed. But we're going to assume that at this point, this is like where she was in the Zot. Okay, so Melchizedek is still there, and she also has access to the super advanced quantum computer on Jupiter, or orbiting Jupiter. So she's what this does for her is that when she's fighting an opponent, and she certainly has that extremely high speed processing capability in her brain, she can literally, call up millions of scenarios of a way a fight's going to go. She can size up an opponent extremely fast and, play literally millions of scenarios in her head in like just a few milliseconds. So she it's kind of like Doctor Strange, in the Infinity War, where he said he looked at 14,605,000 outcomes and he only found one where the Avengers would win, So this is kind of what Alita can do, having this kind of connection to quantum computers and with this high speed processor she has, as a brain chip. She also has super advanced nanotechnology, and that's one of the things that enables her to rapidly self-heal as well. Kind of like we saw in the movie in a Berserker body when I guess Gruishka punctured her with that grind cutter, and within about 10 seconds or less, those nanites actually repaired, where she got injured, and it was like nothing had happened, So in this, now I don't know the ultimate capability of this body in that regard, but I would assume that being in a super advanced body like this, I'm making the assumption that it's going to be even more advanced than the Berserker body's ability to repair itself. And of course, being a shapeshifter, that plays into all of this as well. And for her to be able to modify or be able to her body or be able to call up weapons or whatever she needs, kind of like you see in the image there, where she has those Damascus blades as wings, you know, I mean, that's an advantage she has. She can get any weapon she wants, or she can make her body do anything she wants it to. If she can imagine it, then that's what it does. And in that regard, it's kind of like Green Lantern, except it's not just energy, it's also, you know, material, you know. Certainly, she still knows how to use plasma and can manipulate lightning with that plasma. And last but not, well, not last, Panzerkunst, she still retains that. So she's got that same fighting skill that she had in the Berserker body or in the Toon body, but she's got a body now that is like, you know, orders of magnitude more powerful than either of those two bodies. But the last thing that's not up there that I really would like to put up there, and then I'm going to shut up after that and let Smendrick and Vladi talk a little bit, is that our girl has that perseverance and determination. You know, she is going to achieve an objective no matter what it takes. Welcome, Chaos Nova from Mentor, Ohio.
Hello. Glad to be here.
All right. Glad you can make
Okay,
it. Okay, guys. Well, the Creek has run his mouth long enough, I guess. What is y'all's thoughts about now, Vladi? I know you haven't read The Last Order yet. Smendrick, I think you have, haven't you?
No, I haven't. In total,
Yeah,
in
Kate, that's
total,
when no one else was talking.
yeah, just some PDF.
Yeah, okay.
But not in total.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's a bit difficult not to believe, but to imagine.
Yeah.
How all these technologies,
Yeah.
these capabilities, how they really work.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing of it is, Smendrick, think about it like this. You know, she's living in a time here 500 years in the future, or the manga would be more than that. So that would be less than that. But think about.
I just saw this evening again the movie Interstellar.
Yes, that's a good movie.
And there's something described as the humans developed.
Yeah.
It's
Time
humanity develops
because it's the humans in the future that made it, but then
to
the benefit of the people at the present. It's
Yep, that's the point. So I don't have any problems with believing it.
Yeah.
But just with the imagination, how this will take effect in the storylines and whatever.
Yeah, well, the thing about Alita here now, what we've got described here is not truly, I guess you would say, is not the way she's portrayed exactly in The Last Order. You know, in other words, you know, for instance, being able to run at the speed of light. Now, that is the bad man quite correctly pointed out. That was retconned at the end of the original manga itself. And that, I think that was a story that probably Kishiro wrote when he was in bad health. And he was wanting to, perhaps, I'm guessing, but he was wanting to do something a little extra with Alita like that. Kind of like that story about the the tree of life or whatever that flower of life. I keep forgetting that thing where, you know, she meets or she gets back with the figure 4, you know, when he bursts through that membrane and she comes out as a human and stuff like that. So it's not, you know, I guess I would say it's not true to the actual story, but this is, since Alita is the Creek's niece, this is the power he wants to give her. So there you have it.
I'm sure about that.
Yeah. So anyway, Nova, Chaos, you got any thoughts about this? Because I mean, I think you've read The Last Order, haven't you?
Yeah. All I can say is it doesn't stay. Even
Yeah.
that has a weakness to it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's not 100%, you know, for that. By the way, let me put Chaos's, because I like to promote.
Yeah, that's on my other channel that I'm doing, that I set aside for music, because apparently the way it works is that you really want to focus on a category, and I'm kind of doing other categories right now. But
yeah, that's all right. Yeah. So anyway, that's this version of Alita. Yes, imagine it was 2.1, but the Creek took a little liberties here to give her this ability to run at high speed like that and to be connected to 2 supercomputers, because I think at the end of the Last Order, she was only connected to the supercomputer that was orbiting Jupiter, I think. But she did have access to the singularity, so she had that power. But I kind of want to make her super duper powerful, you know. And that's why I gave her those 2 extra, you know, kind of abilities there, you know. So, so what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not Alita realistic, I guess, is the best word. I can't think of the word now. You know, my brain's gone blank. So anyway, this is our girl. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because, you know, the other teams or the other groups there are going to have an OP character in them. And of course, the Space Angels really don't have, I guess you could say Alita is like that with the Imaginos 2.1 body, but I think not being able to run at the speed of light and not being connected to 2 supercomputers, I think maybe cuts brings her down just below somebody like, say, Superman or Thanos or somebody like that, you know. So that's kind of why I wanted to do it. So anyway, for anybody that wants to see that trailer that Chaos Nova put out, there's the link. All you got to do is click on it and you can watch it. Did you put that on the gaming server as well, Chaos Nova? Might have had to step away.
He's muted.
Okay, that's all right.
Muted himself.
Well, he probably had to.
I think he dropped the link.
Yeah, he did.
On his server and on our server.
Oh, okay.
As well.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, this is our girl. This is what we want her to be like, you know, in the Space Angels. In other words, Alita is a goddess. And of course, we know that because she's got all the Sulu too. You know?
Yeah.
And I think Angelus would agree with me on that one too. So, you know. Okay, now here's the Avengers. Now the Avengers, we're not going to do all of the Avengers because if you remember from
too many.
Well, yes, a big army is what it is eventually. You know, and when they fought Thanos's army, you know, I mean, they had literally thousands, you know, of people. But what we're going to do is we're going to stick with the original group that was in the first movie, and we're going to add Captain Marvel and Spider-Man. Okay. And Captain America is the leader of this team, although he's not the most powerful, but he he's got a military mind. He knows how to do strategy and how to set up tactics to accomplish objectives.
He understands what a lot of his teammates can do.
Yes. Because otherwise they'd just be a bunch of individuals running around, and it wouldn't be as effective as if it was a team, you know. Now, another person who's also a leader, but he's kind of more of a strategic leader as opposed to more tactical like Captain America, and that'd be Nick Fury. Because he actually put the team together is what he did, you know, but now he doesn't have any special abilities. And some would say that even Black Widow and Hawkeye, they're not really what you would consider in the DC context metahumans. I mean, they're very good at what they do. You know, Hawkeye's an extremely good shot with a bow and arrow, or even with a rifle for that matter, if he had one. You know, I mean, he never misses, you know. And Black Widow, of course, is an extremely effective fighter, and she's a first-class assassin and stuff like that. But they're not really you know, what, like you'd say in DC. Now, the term metahuman doesn't really mean anything in the Avengers universe because they don't use that term.
They do say mutants.
Yeah, they use it. Well, they use it for the X-Men. They use mutants, but yeah, they would be kind of like that because in a very real way, the Hulk is a mutant. I mean,
he's not a mutant technically because he was changed after. It wasn't always in his genetic code. His genetic code was altered.
Well, yeah, but that'd be like Deadpool. You know, Deadpool's genetic code was altered as well, you know, and he became a mutant, you know. But what I'm saying is that, you know, like for instance, I guess Captain America, he's not a mutant, but he is an extremely enhanced human. Yeah, that's right.
Is that it wasn't always in your genetic code, but your genetic code was changed. That's a mutate. So
yeah, that's right.
Incredible Hulk is a mutate.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess Thor of course, he's an extraterrestrial technically, but he's kind of in a way like Superman. You know, he's a human, you know, with advanced, I guess, biology or something, you know, is what he is. So, and of course, Iron Man is a little bit more like Batman. You know, he's a human being, but he's really good with technology, and he's extremely intelligent, you know, so he's got a super high IQ and all that stuff, you know. So, and he knows how to build, you know, weapons and things like that the others could use, you know. But that's kind of who we're going to use it with the Avengers here. And actually with the Justice League, they're a little different. Now, they are, with the exception of Batman, all of these people, well, I guess Green Lantern also, no, Batman and Green Lantern.
But for Green Lantern.
Yeah. Much. Well, Green Lantern just has that ability with that ring, but there's nothing special about him as his physiology. You know, it's like Batman, you know. Technically that ring is like technology, you know, it's just super advanced, you know.
Well, it is technology from aliens.
Yeah. But you know, folks like, say, Superman, Wonder Woman, you know, even the Flash for that matter, Aquaman, you know, even I guess in DC, Cyborg and Shazam, they consider them metahumans. In other words, beyond human. Let's see what we got here. Batman, Iron Man wasn't smart enough to see through Zemo's attack in Avengers Civil War. Yeah, that's true.
Right, so, it's true. It's kind of a point that really bothered. It was personal to Tony. That's the thing. It was
that's right.
About his parents getting murdered, so it was pretty personal to him.
Now there was some discussion I saw a couple of years ago about some of the folks that were DC fans were saying Batman was a metahuman, and most of them said, "Oh no, he's not. He's just a human being, but he's really smart, you know, and he really knows how to use technology, and he's a good tactician. He's an extremely good fighter and stuff like that, you know. But he's not a metahuman, you know. Not say like somebody like Aquaman, who can literally push a submarine up to the surface, you know, or say." say Superman, who, can actually bench press the earth. I mean, holy shit, those are metahumans right there. But he's a significant character here, because it is said that in the DC universe, among those fans, if Batman has time to prepare when he's going to, enter into a fight, he's going to win, because he will find a weakness, and he will, set up some tactics or set up a strategy that will enable him to win, And we saw that in Batman versus Superman, where he actually was beating. Yeah.
I mean, it's in the Dark Knight series, they based it off of when Batman actually met other people from Superman's species that really wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
Killed him. Dark Knight 3 is what it was called.
Yeah, but he's extreme. He's kind of, in a way, like Captain America. He's not as physically strong as Captain America, I guess, but he's probably every bit as good a fighter, if not better. And he's a very, very good tactician, So, I mean, the group there depends on him to come up with strategies, kind of to bring them together as a team, And certainly the Flash is also another super powerful, being on this team. Was that guy can run faster than the speed of light. So, I mean, that's
he can, but that's where he goes backwards in time, and you don't want to do that too much.
Well, they kind of took a literary license there by running faster than the speed of light. You go backwards in time. Nobody knows what that would really do. Not any physicists, because they don't.
Well, mathematically speaking, it would cause time to run backwards, because there's an infinite limit regarding the speed of light. The speed of light is where time is totally stopped, if you're the way the math goes. But if you go beyond the infinite limit, then it would go backwards.
Well, I think the whole thing too is that if you go faster than the speed of light, it creates paradoxes. So, you could do some stuff that screw up reality.
The same equation says you need infinite mass if you're at anything other than light itself going at the speed of light.
Yeah. But in the DC universe, the Flash can go faster than the speed of light. So can Superman. I'm not sure about Shazam. I don't know if he can or not. Green Lantern might be able to with that ring. I'm not sure about that either. But the Flash is the fastest of all of them, and certainly I guess Wonder Woman's also fast, So, but Green Lantern, of course, anything that he can imagine, he can create weapons, he can create defenses, he can with his ring, and of course the Shazam has the power of all the Greek gods, and he's a little bit like Superman, in terms of strength. He's not quite as strong as Superman, I don't think.
It's an issue at DC Comics, because originally he was part of a separate comics publisher, Wiz Comics. But then when DC acquired Wiz Comics, they had a hard time having.
Well, he was originally called Captain Marvel, wasn't he? And they had to change that because of Captain Marvel was actually in the Marvel comics, so they had to change all that. So anyway, that's the Justice League. I don't need to spend a lot of time on each one of their. We've done some streams on this before, and we went into great detail in their abilities. We don't need to do that here, because this is going to be about the Space Angels. And kind of the way what we want to see it is not so much the Space Angels fighting the Avengers or the Justice League. That's not what they're doing. What we want to see is, can they take over for the Avengers or the Justice League if they had to fight, some of these, deal with some of these threats, that Earth would have, and of course, Alita, Zex, Zazie, and Elf and Swerve, these are going to be the fighters. The other three below that, now I don't know if Ping Wu actually ever fought or not. He may be able to fight. I don't know, if he does or not. Bad Man, you're out there. I think you've read it. Zex versus Bucky. I don't know, Angelus. I think Zex would beat Bucky's tail pretty easily, I think. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. So, I mean, you know, Bucky is a cyborg because he has a cybernetic arm, but Zex, yeah, he's an Alita replicant, so he's going to be a little bit beyond Bucky, I think. So, but anyway, you see there Alita, Zex, Zazie, Elf, and Swerve. They're going to be they're fighting. They're going to be taking over for Captain Marvel, the Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Captain America. Now, Black Widow and Hawkeye would definitely be engaged in a fight. But I think in a fight against somebody like Thanos, you know, or somebody against like Darkseid, Black Widow and Hawkeye aren't going to be effective against them. I mean, they literally have less than 1% chance of winning that fight, you know. So, you know, we're not going to include them. Now, that's not to say they wouldn't in an actual fight of the Avengers versus a threat that they wouldn't be involved. They would be. They'd fight. But I think we're just going to, since they don't have these extra, I would say, superhuman abilities, then we're going to kind of leave them out. Now, it's different with the Justice League. They've got a bunch of people that are capable. You know, even Batman, he's not a metahuman, but he's an extremely good fighter and tactician. You know, and he was he was beaten up on parademons, you know, in that one movie. So I mean, he's not a chump. You know, he's going to be able to hold his own, I think, you know. Okay. Now that we've set all that up, could the Space Angels replace the Avengers? Well, I think Alita would probably be somewhat comparable to Captain Marvel. You know, the Alita that we have here, you know, Captain Marvel can fly for sure. You know, and she can certainly flies faster than the speed of light. I don't know if she flies faster than the speed of light, because I think in the Marvel universe, they have these like jump points where they can go from one realm to the other. So they're not really traveling faster than the speed of light. And it's like Thor also. He doesn't travel faster than the speed of light, but he uses the Bifrost, you know, to get him from one place to another over great distances. You know, so in a way, that's kind of like a wormhole, I guess, in some ways. But, you know, that Alita and Captain Marvel, in terms of their ability to fight or to handle, you know, maybe a difficult opponent, they'd probably be somewhat equal. I don't think Zex would stand up to the Hulk very well. And I don't think Zazie would stand up to Thor very well, you know. I think Elf and Swerve would stand up very well against Iron Man, Spider-Man, and Captain America, because they, like I say, they're androids and they're in the tuned body, you know, so they're pretty potent fighters, you know. And there was, I think, if anybody's looked at my channel, if you go down and look at the martial arts of Alita, that one playlist, this guy Danko he pitted Alita some years ago against Spider-Man, and he concluded that Alita would beat Spider-Man. So Elf and Swerve, that, you know, they're replicants of Alita, so, you know, they could probably beat Spider-Man too. It's not to say Spider-Man would never beat them, but I mean, they can beat them. Iron Man might be a little bit of a challenge for them, but I think they could probably beat Captain America, maybe. You know, so, but I think they're pretty much on the same playing field as those three, because Iron Man's he's not a metahuman or a mutant. He's just a human, and he's real good with technology, and he has armored suits that he can wear that, you know, he can shoot directed energy weapons from it, and he's got small missiles that are potent, you know, that he can shoot from it. So he's got some weaponry there, and he's got nanotech too. Probably not nanotech as advanced as, say, Alita has, but nanotech nevertheless. So anyway, this is something we're also going to determine. We're going to make that determination. We're not going to make that determination here. It kind of looks like, you know, Zex and Zazie can't, you know, they're not quite as powerful as Hulk and Thor. Alita is probably on par with Captain Marvel and Elf and Swerve. They could probably beat Spider-Man and Captain America. They might be tough for them to beat Iron Man, you know, but they're kind of in the same ballpark. So we're going to be able to substitute them when they fight, you know, the group that they're going to be fighting later. And another thing we're going to ask is, can the Space Angels replace the Justice League? So anyway, Alita, she's not quite there with Superman. Not even this version of Alita that the Creek has concocted. Because Superman can also move faster than the speed of light. You know, in the comics, granted, that's going to be a problem in reality. I think Alita is somewhat on par with Wonder Woman. She might even be better. I'm not sure about that. I don't think Zex would be able to take the Flash, because the Flash can move so fast, Zex couldn't do anything with him. I think Zex can move at hypersonic speed, but the Flash can move faster than the speed of light, so he would literally be millions of times faster than Zex. Now, Zex could probably hold his own with Green Lantern. You know, he could probably do that because Zex is pretty good. You know, that Physiroid body is a powerful body. I don't think Zazie is going to be able to handle Shazam or Aquaman. I just don't see that happening, you know. Elf and Swerve, there's a good point, Bad Man. Yeah, she might be able to simulate some kryptonite with those nanomachines. Yeah, that's possible. You know, that would be extraordinary, I think. But yeah, that's a good point. She might be able to do that. But if she doesn't have kryptonite, she's not going to be able to beat Superman, I don't think. You know, it would probably be a tough fight, you know, but I don't know if she'd be able to take him without kryptonite. Because we saw Batman beating up on Superman. He had kryptonite. So, I mean, if he can do it, I mean, Alita can do it. Elf and Swerve against Cyborg and Batman. I think they might be hard pressed against Cyborg because he can fly, for one thing. But they're certainly their body capabilities would be similar. Probably Cyborg's a little better. They'd probably be a little better than Batman if Batman doesn't have time to prepare for them. Now, Batman prepares for him, and he kind of learns, you know, kind of everything about them and stuff. Like he could maybe come up with a strategy that could beat them. But I do think Elf and Swerve probably could take Batman. Might be tough with Cyborg. But anyway, you can see they're fairly close here, you know, on this, the Space Angels and the Justice League. And I know people that are, you know, what would this be? Would likely use monomolecular wire set trap. Yeah, that's right. They probably would, you know. So yeah, that's a good point, Bad Man. So anyway, we see how these two play out here. This one, you know, and we see that they're in the same ballpark, I think, as and we're going to determine how well they do, because the first thing we want to do is we want to put the Space Angels up against Steppenwolf and Darkseid's Parademons. So remember that Alita is in the Imaginos 2.1 body, and this is going to be the souped up Imaginos 2.1 body that her Uncle Creek actually gave her some modifications that made her run faster than the speed of light and hook her up to another quantum computer. So she's got that going for her. Zex is in that Physiroid body, which is not as powerful as a Imaginos body, but it is more powerful than a Berserker body, that's for sure. Now, Elf and Swerve, definitely they're Toon body, so we can just, you know, strike Berserker there and put Toon body. Zazie is a cyborg, and I'm not sure what kind of body she's in, you know. It could be just a standard body, or certainly in the manga there was no but probably a Martian military body, you know, kind of a cyborg body. And who they're going to be fighting is against Steppenwolf, who is no chump, you know, for sure. Because you remember, by himself, when he was fighting the Justice League, when they didn't have Superman, he actually had the advantage, you know, so he was, he's pretty powerful himself. And then, of course, Darkseid has an army of parademons that Steppenwolf used in that movie, in both the movies, the theatrical version and the Snyder Cut version. So what does that mean? Yeah, Steppenwolf is a band. That's right, and I really like their music as well. So but that's different Steppenwolf, I guess. Batman.
What came first, the band or the character?
I don't know. I think Steppenwolf might have come in. He might have come into play in the 70s. I'm not sure. That's an interesting question. Yeah, I don't know. Steppenwolf is actually the uncle of Thanos, not Thanos, Darkseid, is what he is in the comic book. Now they didn't do that in the movie, obviously. So we got the Space Angels against these guys. Now, what does that mean? Well, the first thing we want to talk about, and this is why I gave Alita all this power. And we did a stream on this, and the link is down in the description if you want to go look at the live stream we did, where Alita actually, we put her up against Steppenwolf. In her Imaginos 2.1 body, she's going to destroy him. I mean, he's not going to have a chance. He has a 1% chance maybe of beating her if she's in this body. Now, if she's in, if she's in like a Berserker body or the Toon body or something, or some body that's not Imaginos, or even the Imaginos 2.1 body for that matter. The Imaginos 1.0 and the Imaginos 2.0 body, yeah, Steppenwolf may still have the advantage. Maybe. I don't know about the 2.0 body, but the 1.0 body, he might have the advantage. But the fact that in this case where Alita can move as fast as she can and has the power that she has being connected to the singularity, I don't see much of a chance for Steppenwolf to beat her at all. Now what does that mean? Because we're going to put these teams fighting together. Now, the first thing I want to say is that when you get a group of individuals like this fighting, it's not going to be some orderly kind of thing. It's going to be chaotic, and it's going to be, just all over the place, but here we want to put it in terms we can kind of understand. But the Creek thinks that Alita is going to beat Steppenwolf 99 times out of 100. That's what I think. I mean, Steppenwolf might, if he gets a drop on her, he might be able to take her out, but he would have to get the drop on her. And if he doesn't, and of course, she's got that high speed perception. So it's going to be hard for him to get the drop on her, for that matter, Now, what does that mean? Well, first of all, we got some scenarios here, certainly Steppenwolf and the parademons, there's a whole army of these parademons. Now, the way this works is that in this particular scenario, Steppenwolf is defeated by Alita. Now, while that fight is going on, which may not last very long, but while that fight's going on, Zex, Zazie, Elf, and Swerve, they'll probably be engaging some of the parademons because there'll be a ton of them trying to take them out, But the way that worked is when in the movie, particularly when Steppenwolf was killed, the parademons just crashed. They just, folded up. So after Alita beats Steppenwolf, then the parademons are going to be ineffectual. They're not. It's almost like it's a hive mind. I guess. I'm not sure if it's that, but they were totally useless after Steppenwolf was killed. In that particularly in the Snyder Cut version. The theatrical version was a little different, where Steppenwolf and the parademons were teleported back to Apocalypse, where Darkseid was. But I guess in the Snyder Cut, Steppenwolf was actually killed in that fight by a Wonder Woman. And I see that Alita would probably, being as fast as she is, I think she would take him out. Within a second. I think he'd be dead. Now, if you don't like that, if you think, nah, Creek, Steppenwolf's more powerful than you say he is, and Alita, I don't believe Alita is as powerful as you say he is and all that. Okay, well, let's go to scenario 2. Okay, Alita starts fighting Steppenwolf, and maybe he's putting up too much of a fight, so Zex comes in and helps Alita take down Steppenwolf. And Zazie, Elf, and Swerve, they are fighting the parademons until Alita and Zex defeat Steppenwolf, and then Space Angels win. But in this particular case, where the Space Angels are fighting Steppenwolf and the Parademons, I don't see that Steppenwolf and the Parademons with this version of Alita, I don't see them having much of a chance at all at beating them. You know, it's kind of like the Justice League. You know, once Superman arrived, he was literally beating the crap out of Steppenwolf. And then, of course, you know, he punched Steppenwolf, and Wonder Woman cut his head off, you know, basically decapitated him.
Well, there's also the part where they need to time travel because the mother boxes came together.
Well, yeah, if you remember, well, there was two versions. If you remember,
oh, right,
yeah,
the newer one was where
the Snyder cut,
the cut version was where the Flash did the time travel.
Yeah, that's right. In the theatrical version, what happened was Steppenwolf and the Parademons were all teleported back to where Darkseid was on Apocalypse.
Well,
I guess.
It didn't seem why there was a Darkseid in the.
Well, yeah, there was, because there was one scene where Steppenwolf sent the Parademons off to look for the third mother box, and as they were flying off, he said, "For Darkseid." So, but he wasn't in the movie. That's right. But but he, you know, he was still a force there. But anyway, in both of these scenarios, you know, I don't see Steppenwolf and the Parademons beating the Space Angels because, for one thing, Alita's got too much power, and if she had trouble with him, then Zex could come in and help her take him out. You know, so you know, this one here, I don't see this going very far. You know, now if this was Darkseid, that'd be a different story. Maybe it'd be a lot tougher fight, I think. You know, any thoughts, you guys?
I think Alita would kick his ass.
I think so. This version of Alita would kick his ass. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no doubt about it. Okay.
Yeah, it depends. Don't forget about the mother boxes because you lose anyway if they come together.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't put the mother boxes here, so yeah, you're right. If the mother boxes do come together, and if you remember, Cyborg was kind of holding them apart for a while, until he couldn't do it any longer, you know, and then of course they had to rely on the Flash, you know, to do that little reverse time travel thing.
Well, it was also the other cut was also better for Victor or Cyborg too, because there were the added scenes for him, which I liked.
Yeah, I like the Snyder cut version better, I think.
I liked it for Cyborg because, you know, the parts where his father's left the recordings for him and he's remembering him.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it was. So anyway, the Space Angels and the Creeks estimation are going to beat Steppenwolf and the Parademons every time, provided we're not having to deal with mother boxes, obviously. So if they're having to deal with mother boxes, that's a whole new element, you know. So, okay, any thoughts there, Smendrick or Vladi? I think Vladi said that Alita would kick his butt, and I think she would. So, all right. Well, let's talk about the Space Angels taking.
Yeah, I already said my piece.
Yeah, let's talk. What about you, Smendrick? Did you have anything you wanted to say about this right here? Either that scenario or that one? Or Smendrick might have fell asleep, or he's muted at the very least.
He melted.
Could be.
I'm okay.
Yeah. He's that's right. It's
almost other
hot.
side of the world.
It's hot there too. He said it was 31 degrees Celsius, so that's pretty freaking hot. So,
I mean, it's abnormal, but being near a lake has its good points. One is that you don't have as much of the heat.
I don't think he lives near a lake though. Chaos.
I do though.
Yeah.
It does hot, yes, but it's not very often that it.
Well, you get those breezes, don't you?
Yeah,
lake
you do.
Yeah.
Lake Erie is nice and cool.
Yes. All right, well, let's move on to Space Angels taking on Thanos and the Black Order. Now, Thanos is a whole different story, but of course, you know, Alita, of course, is before You know, you got her and Imaginos and so forth, Elfinswerf and the Toon Bodies and that kind of thing. And the Black Order consists of some pretty extraordinary individuals, all of them. You know, certainly Thanos is like a dark side level threat almost. You know, I think I've seen some videos where Danko had put Thanos up against Darkseid, but Darkseid wins. It's a tough fight, but he wins. And I've seen some other videos where Darkseid beats Thanos every time, but it's a tough fight every time, you know. But he's pretty tough, and this is from the MCU too, by the way. And then there's this guy named Ebony Maw, and what he is he's kind of he got telekinesis working for him.
Well, technically, what Ebony Maw does is called anti-magic. It's the opposite of what magic that Doctor Strange does. It cancels it out.
Yeah. Plus, he does have the ability. He does have some telekinetic ability too. So he's
that was anti-magic that he was telekinetically doing things with.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway, and then there's a guy named Cole Obsidian. Now, he's a huge guy. He's really big. He's probably about a lot like Toji was, you know, when Alita fought Toji and Zot. But he's like a big hulking guy, you know. And then, of course, there's two other characters called Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive. And what they are, Proxima Midnight is of the group, she's the only woman of the group, I guess, a female, not woman. A woman is that'd be a human, but she's a female. And Corvus Glaive, he's like an elf, you know. He looks like an elf, but all of these individuals are extraterrestrial, and all of them are extremely potent. You know, them so particularly Thanos. Now, what we're doing with Thanos here is we're going to give him all the stones. Okay, because of, and we'll chat about that a little bit when we get through a couple of these scenarios, why he has to have all the stones. Now, if you remember way back when we did a stream on Alita versus Thanos, and we determined that, you know, Alita would beat Thanos even with all the stones 60% of the time. And that's just a wild ass guess on our part. You know, we certainly didn't have any objective data, you know, to do that. Plus we were probably biased, you know, toward Alita, you know. But the fact that Alita can move at the speed of light, you know, or near it, not faster than it, but near it, she can cut his head off or his arm off before he can snap his fingers, you know. So that's going to be a big deal. Now, if Thanos doesn't have the stones, then she's going to take him out just like she did Steppenwolf, because that without those stones, the MCU version of Thanos is not really nothing more than he's just a big brute, you know. Now, in the comic book, it's different. You know, he has some telekinetic ability, he has some telepathy, and he can mess with your mind and stuff like that.
Well, now, that's because of the Mind Stone.
Yeah, but I think he
has abilities related to the stones, but he uses them a lot more in the Infinity Gauntlet story.
Well, the thought though here is that if Thanos doesn't have the stones, he's just a big guy. He's strong, you know, he's got superhuman strength, but he's not, you know, he's if he for instance,
he had power over characters such as Silver Surfer, which hasn't been introduced to the MCU yet.
Yeah. So anyway, but I think, and what we determined on that stream is that Alita is going to beat Thanos. Now, this is going to be a tough fight, you know, because, you know, with those stones, you know, if he can manage to get his fingers snapped, and he can take Alita out. Now, what'll happen? What we determined that, you know, the reason why we thought Alita would still beat him is that it would be like in that there's a video on YouTube of Thanos fighting One Punch Man or Saitama, and he snaps Saitama out of existence. But before Saitama dies, he punches through his chest and kills him. So it's a draw, you know. So we would say that if Thanos, you know, if he snapped his fingers, Alita's so fast that she could cut him in half, you know, before she get dusted, you know. The only way that Thanos, we think, would beat Alita is if he kind of got the drop on her a little bit, or he snapped his fingers before she realized what was going on. you know, and even then she might move fast enough to kill him before she got dusted, you know. But we did discuss this quite a bit, and we thought that maybe oh, Vladi, you dropped off again briefly. That Alita would probably
Is my icon
win.
gone again?
No, yeah, it's gone. Yeah, well, it was gone
no.
before. Yeah, you don't have an icon for some reason. So anyway, but the reason why this is important is because when they start fighting, and we're going to go through 3 different scenarios here, okay? Now, this is going to be a tougher fight than with the parademons, because in that fight with Steppenwolf, basically all Alita, or possibly Alita and Zex, had to do was take out Steppenwolf, and the parademons just crumble. You know, they're not effective anymore. You know, this is different. You know, that because the Black Order, all of these other characters, you know, they're going to continue to fight. So the way I saw this going is that Alita would defeat Thanos, is what we saw before. Ebony Maw would take out Zex. Cole Obsidian would defeat Zazie. I think Elf would take out Proxima Midnight, and I think Swerve would beat Corvus Glaive. But see, the fight's not over, you know, at this point. So what happens next is that Alita then defeats Ebony Maw, because that's who was left over, you know, right here, because Ebony Maw had beaten Zex. Alita defeats him, and then Elf and Swerve defeat Cole Obsidian, and the Space Angels win. Okay, but there is yet another scenario we can look at. For instance, scenario 2 would be Alita still defeats Ebony Maw, because I think she's so fast, his magic, his anti-magic, is not going to help him, I don't think, because Spider-Man was able to beat him, and he doesn't have any great speed, not like Alita does, you know. But Cole Obsidian beats both Elf and Swerve. That could happen, because this guy is pretty badass, you know. But after that, Alita defeats Cole Obsidian, and the Space Angels still win. So it's a tougher fight, but they still win. Now, if Thanos defeats Alita, which he can do, the Black Order is going to win. Doesn't matter what the others are, because Thanos will beat the rest of them by himself, probably, or he could, you know. So out of the 3 scenarios that I saw, I see that the Space Angels win 2 out of 3 of them. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, well, or is this a little too esoteric? Okay, so just kind of recapping that. You know, here's the one where Alita defeats Thanos by herself. And of course, when that happens, then of course the Space Angels are going to win. And then Alita defeats, you know, well, wait a minute. Yeah. And she might have to fight Cole Obsidian, and then they would still win. If Thanos beats Alita, then of course, you know, the Black Order is going to win. So now keep in mind, Thanos has got all of the stones, because if Thanos was to fight Zex and he didn't have all the stones, or he didn't have the Infinity Gauntlet, Zex is going to take him out, you know, because he's not, I mean, he's got superhuman strength, but Zex has going to have a speed advantage on him, and Zex is pretty strong himself, and he's a really good fighter. Of course, I think Thanos is a good fighter as well, but Thanos only really would have, without the stones, just strength. You know, that's all he's got. Zex has got more than that, you know. And probably Zazie could beat Thanos if he didn't have the stones. I mean, she'd just shoot him, you know. That'd be the end of that, you know. So, okay, guys. Any thoughts about that one?
Not really. I don't tend to think about this kind of speculative stuff that much.
Well, I just kind of do it to get some entertainment going on here.
Yeah, for sure. I totally understand why people would find it interesting.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't really know much about the Marvel characters and stuff, so, or even the manga Alita, for that matter.
Yeah, well, if you just keep coming to the manga readings every week, you know, or every month, Bloody, you will get through the manga eventually, won't you?
No, I was just trying. I do try and avoid some spoilers.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Alita. Okay, Badman points out Alita has another power that the Creek didn't even think of, and that's nanomachine encroachment. Yeah, that makes her even more OP, I think. So yeah, she's going to beat Thanos. You know, that's. You know, I especially this version of her, you know, the Creek making her as fast as the speed of light almost. That's Thanos is not going to stand a chance, you know, really. But that's a good point, Badman. Okay, so now let's just set up a couple other things and then we'll kind of wrap things up here, I guess. Now, remember that that Steppenwolf and the Parademons, you know, they're a DCU or DCEU, I guess you would say, you know, kind of a, you know, bad guy team, you know. So let's say that somehow the Space Angels were teleported to Earth, you know, and, you know, teamed up with the Justice League to fight these Parademons. If that happens, this is going to be a no-brainer. This is going to be the same thing. And I believe that even if Darkseid was involved here on this one, he in other words, he came with Steppenwolf and the Parademons to conquer Earth, and the Justice League had the Space Angels with them, they're going to beat Darkseid, I think, because I don't see Darkseid beating Superman and Alita at the same time. I don't see that happening, you know. Now in the Snyder Cut, I guess Darkseid somehow got Superman to become evil Superman, and you remember that little post-credit scene, I guess, in Snyder Cut where Superman kind of, you know, lands in front of what's left of the Justice League, ready to destroy them, you know. So, but I think in this case, if this happened, yeah, this is going to be a no-brainer here. If the Space Angels are going to beat Steppenwolf and the Parademons by themselves, you add the Justice League to the mix, that's the end of it. They're just not going to be able to do much with it. You know, Superman was pretty much kicking butt just by himself, you know, on Steppenwolf, and of course that would free up Alita to take out literally probably thousands of Parademons. She's so fast, you know. So and then of course the others would be engaged with them as well. So, and if we had the Space Angels teaming up with the Avengers and they fought Thanos and the Black Order, might be a little tougher match. But if the Space Angels can beat the Black Order by themselves, then this is going to be the outcome right here, because probably here Alita and Captain Marvel would team up against Thanos and they would take him out. Because if you remember from Endgame, I guess Captain Marvel was really had the, you know, she had the advantage. She was beating Thanos and he had the stones. That's what he had to do. Or he had, I think he had the stones. Remember, he had to take the power stone out of the gauntlet and put it in his hand to punch her to get rid of her, you know, but he tried to headbutt her and didn't do anything to her. You know, it was like an immovable object, you know. Now you add Alita to that, and Alita, while I guess while Captain Marvel is, you know, engaging with Thanos, Alita's going to cut Thanos in half with a Damascus blade or something like that, you know, a plasma weapon or whatever, and he's going to be dead, you know. So, okay, you guys agree with that? Either both of these scenarios right here?
Yeah, I think so. I think yeah.
Smendrick, are you okay, or did you fall asleep?
Yeah, I'm okay, but I'm thinking about the timeline of all these movies.
Yeah.
You
well, that's right.
here.
So much to think
scenarios.
About.
Well, it's going to require time travel, isn't it?
Way too much to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right, because Alita and that team there, they're in the future by about 300 to 500 years, whatever it is, 400 or 500 years. So yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
maybe they get the guys on Star Trek to take them back, you know, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of the way that the way I think all that would play out. So I guess what I would say is, you know, could the Space Angels substitute for the Avengers, the Justice League? And in my opinion, yeah, they could. Now, keep in mind that the Space Angels aren't a superhero team like these two teams are. You know, they're a combat sport team is what they are. I mean, the Zot, yeah, it's combat for sure, but it's more like a sporting, it's more like a gladiatorial sport, you know, kind of combat type sport, not fighting bad guys, you know, to preserve the earth. Although that's what Alita was fighting for, wasn't she? She was fighting to save the earth, because I think they were going to try to get rid of the earth, weren't they? If the karate, whether the space karate guys or whatever they were, you know. I want to put your link in here too as well. But for those of you who are interested, Chaos is this a stream, Chaos? Yeah, it's a stream. Yeah, it is. Okay. So if you're interested, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, I will be.
Hello? Am I still in here?
I'm not sure what's
Is Quick
going.
gone?
Quick is going
Spencer,
bye
can you hear
bye.
me?
He's substituted by all
Yeah.
his superheroes. He is again.
He lost the will to live going on about these bloody superheroes.
Yeah, so sorry, got my damn I guess the internet kind of messed up on me again.
Yeah, too much superheroes at the moment.
Yeah. There's an art stream tomorrow.
Yeah, I had to
fun.
jump over to the other you know, computer. Let me get the, you guys probably can't hear me that well.
Yeah, just about.
For some reason, on my other computer, the network goes out on me from time to time. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay here.
Yeah, now it's okay. Now this one is okay.
Any other thoughts, guys?
Yeah.
Just Alita thoughts.
Just Alita thoughts. Yeah, exactly.
I can't hear anybody. I wonder if
Can we please remove Captain Marvel from the screen?
Yeah.
That's too much Microsoft in Windows 11.
We can hear you,
go
but
back to the other computer.
very
Hold on,
low. Very.
Can you not hear us? Oh, there's no creaky now. We can do what we want.
Oh yeah. So
start throwing things around.
First
Let's start
of all,
dissing Captain Marvel.
remove all these Captain
More like
Marvel
Captain
stuff.
Trashball.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golly, I don't know what it is with my, it only happens on my Windows 11 box.
Bloody Windows 11. They're trying to get me to upgrade to that because they're going to stop supporting Windows 10, aren't they?
Well, Windows 10, they're going to stop supporting it. So yeah, I'll be between a rock and a hard place when they do that. Because if this thing keeps dropping off like that, I mean, golly.
Yeah, but it's not dying when they run it out of support. So we can use it as usual.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Well, I guess at least the Creek railroaded everybody into thinking the Space Angels could replace the Avengers and the Justice League. Yeah, I know superhero stuff is not everybody's cup of tea. I know that for sure.
It would It would, as long as we have to see these movies after we get all our sequels.
Yes.
Then I promise I watch every superhero movie in the theaters. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as long as we have to wait again and again and again for the sequels, no.
Well, I'm going to go watch Deadpool and Wolverine over the weekend. I'm going to do that. You know, my brother and one of my nephews, well, maybe both nephews might go see that probably after the stream tomorrow or maybe on Sunday. But I'll tell you one superhero movie I'm definitely going to go see, and that's going to be Captain America 4, Captain America Brave New World, because our girl's going to be in that one. Or our queen, not our girl. She's not a girl. She's a queen. She's a woman. She's a woman.
Our queen.
Yes, she is. So I want to see maybe like Bloody. Maybe Bloody's wish will come true that Rosa being a bad guy, being Diamondback, maybe she'll kill all the MCU characters.
Just end the whole superhero thing. Rosa. Then we won't have to any more bloody streams like this.
Well, Bloody, I had to come up with something, bud.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting though. I've said many times, and I think everybody agrees. Alita is not a superhero. She just isn't. She's just a person trying to figure out who she is, and she's going through her journey of life. And now she has superhero level ability. she definitely has that. But yeah, she's not that archetype, like Superman, Wonder Woman.
Exactly. This is the reason why I mostly hadn't anything to say. Through this stream.
That's all right.
It's easy. It's not easy to compare superheroes and their capabilities with a character
like
as Alita and their companions.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. I think none of her companions and competitors can be compared with these Marvel superheroes. Okay.
Well, you can compare them, but what you have to do though is you have to go into it knowing that these characters are not the same as what you see in these movies, and that does make the comparison a little difficult. But certainly,
I don't have. I didn't read all the comics.
I was a big comic reader when I was young. Boy, I was.
So
the comics I read were not superhero comics.
I agree with Bad Man on this statement, Lottie. I know you do too. As a franchise, I wouldn't mind too much if Alita replaced the MCU. Now, I like MCU movies a lot, but I just think that we're just being bombarded. It's just way too much. I think. So I don't know. But anyway, I wish Disney would just. Let's get a little versatility in here. Let's get some.
The point?
Yeah, let's diversify our content.
Yeah.
I mean, holy crap.
Yeah, and if it doesn't succeed, as many of the MCU
movies
films
haven't.
I wouldn't care about it.
Yeah.
But we are Alita Army, and we stand together. And the point is, if they would let us doing the marketing, we would succeed. Believe us.
Well, think about it. If think what Disney has in the Alita Army. They don't realize this. They have 170, at least 170 something thousand marketing people.
Yeah.
Because we're going to push. Well, now, not everybody's avid like we are, but think about it. They're getting free advertising even right now.
Yeah.
I mean, golly, come on, guys.
What?
Give us
they're just like jealous that Alita is an actual Marvel, whereas they just wear the name Marvel as like a skin suit or something.
Yeah, our girl, man, she needs to have her own Alita Cinematic Universe ACU.
That's it. Yeah,
that's what I want.
The chance to get a big new franchise here.
Yes,
it's just we needed this franchise. I genuinely think it's just like out of spite that Bob Iger is not going to, because the whole of the last decade was plagued by his live action remakes and the endless stream of shitty Marvel movies.
Reboots
and the fact that
remakes
Cameron and Rodriguez came up with this, like the antithesis of all of that. It was a passion project of which had so much brilliant source material left. It wasn't this American trash. It's just like they're burying it because they're just spiteful bastards.
Yeah.
Well, you would think they would have listened to Cameron, after he made $2.3 billion from Avatar.
No, you underestimate
they underestimated
the satanic mind of Bob Iger.
Yeah.
Well, you just
we
wait.
Better end the stream before I go off on one.
All right. Well, we might do that. I can always mute you, Blotty, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to do that though, Blotty.
No.
So Blotty, Blotty's only saying what we're all thinking. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it.
Any rational person would think what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyone who cares about cinema. Sadly, a lot of people just care about their own egos.
And it's not like they have to come up with content either. I mean, the manga, God, is rich with this stuff. I mean,
and even if you take all the ideas of this stream here, maybe you start with smaller scale.
Well, here's the
fights and comparisons and co-op.
Well, did you guys see the Avengers: The Age of Ultron? Did you see? I saw that because I am a superhero fan. There's no doubt about it. But that's the one where the Avengers fight Ultron. And Ultron has all these robot clones of himself and stuff like that, kind of like Steppenwolf and the Parademons, But it's at the end of the movie, there was a post-credit scene where they cut to Thanos, like they did in the first movie. They had a Thanos scene at the end of that, and so they were unsuccessful in getting I guess the Mind Stone from I guess it was Vision, And so what happened was, Thanos goes in, he reaches into this thing and he puts the Infinity Gauntlet on. He kind of holds it up and he says, "Fine, I'll do it myself." And that's kind of the way I feel. If we don't see some movement soon, I'm going to start doing some of the stuff on a small scale, because I certainly don't have the kind of money to put together a movie. Plus, you get in trouble if you do this. So,
no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
The first guy or institution or whatever, who tries to realize another. Don't call it sequel, but who tries to realize
well, let me tell you
another movie.
Let me tell you what I'm doing now.
Will be supported. I have
a script right now. I haven't finished it, but I've started writing a script of Alita visiting her Uncle Creek at the Kansas bar. And my actress friend, I'm going to try to get her. I think she'll do it, you know, but because she's always she's expressed an interest in doing projects I'd want to do like that, you know. And she was in a couple of movies that I was executive producer on in a just a little film festival thing, short, you know, nothing big like this, you know. But yeah, I got a script. I've already started. It's pretty much almost done, you know, and send that to her. And then what I need then, Vladi, would be if I ever get her measurements, you know, not to be funny about it. I mean, because we have to know how big she is or how small she is or whatever. But you know, I think she's like 5'3" or something like that. But you know, yeah, you know, here comes Alita walking into the Kansas bar, you know, and you know, the Creek says, my, look who's come to visit their Uncle Creek. That's the way it starts out. So anyway,
yeah. That would be funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Cameron and Rodriguez would discuss, maybe not accept, but discuss ideas like this.
Well, they know we're here too. You know, not the point, but you have to meet their expectations of quality. Yeah. Yeah. Angelus, what was it you wanted me to come up with, Angelus, while we were in Austin?
Damn it, Creaky, why wouldn't
what was it you wanted me to do? Because we did a stream, if you remember, Angelus. Anyway, I think we know that the Space Angels, if you could teleport them. Oh, I see. Okay. So I could star in your movie. Okay. So anyway.
This would be a very big traveling across the world, because all these Vladis and Schmendricks and whatever guys, they would all travel by special reasons, for no special reasons, come to Austin, Texas, or maybe to
Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado, or whatever.
Or if the Creek ever makes it over to Deutschland again. That was one of my favorite Urlaubs. Angelus, I don't think Alita needs security. Although I guess Angelus has got a point, because if you remember, Hugo had to watch Alita's back in the Kansas bar. So okay,
maybe,
all right, Angelus, So
the first thing we had to do is to protect our doggo.
That's right.
That's the most important thing.
Yep. So anyway, I guess the Space Angels, even though they are not superheroes, but they are really good at combat, and yes, they could substitute for the Avengers or the Justice League, I think. Okay. I'm just a mini boss. Yeah, you'll be the first line of defense, and if they get by you, then they can go to Alita, and then that'd be the end of them. So
nice.
So yeah. All right, guys, I guess we can start to wrap this up a little bit here. Did we miss anything?
No.
I don't think so either. And as you can see from that center panel right there, Alita does love her Uncle Creek. And if you have a problem with that, you take it up with her, and you can face that plasma weapon yourself, you know. And here's our queen right here. And of course, I am so looking forward to going to see her at the Pasadena Playhouse. God, that is going to be phenomenal. You know, I'm once again, I will be respectful, though. I'm not going to do anything stupid. You know, I'm actually a little too old to do that. So, but anyway, it's going to be great. You know, seeing her on the stage like that. That's going to be, you know, it's going to be, for me, it's almost a dream come true, you know, to watch her like that. Because as I say every week, in terms of being an actress, she's #1 in the Creeks book. That's for sure. I also want to give shout outs to Elle Lamont and Jesse Fisher. They brought Screwhead to life, and we want Screwhead in the sequel, in Alita 2, to team up with Alita to take on Joshagan, you know, to take on his team, you know. And if you remember, Screwhead she could play motorball, you know, she can do it. So, and I would think that, like Elle said in the interview did with her, that Screwhead and Alita make up, and you know, and now Alita has a badass buddy to back her up, I think is what she said, something like that. So, but anyway, all three of these ladies are really good at what they do. What is this here, Angelus? What are you doing here, boy? Let's see. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're looking forward to it, Angelus, for sure. You know, too bad you didn't come over. Then we could have had 3 people go into the thing. That would have
timed
been
it so badly.
We had,
Yeah.
We could have more than 3 people.
Yeah.
there.
That, you know, what would be cool is if she did something like this again in the future, and we got a bunch of people in the Alita Army to sit down in the front, you know. Oh my God, all wearing Alita Army shirts. That would be awesome.
Be so freaked out.
Yeah, the first row or the second row, only the black shirts with the Alita Army logo.
Yeah.
The Alita Army black shirts.
Yeah, that's us. Yeah.
Yeah, this would.
Yeah, Badman says Screwhead could replace Teagle. Yeah, I don't know about Teagle. He I don't know that he did that much. Although I guess he did kind of he did kind of bump it. Did he kind of delay Joshagan or something because he was kind of the player that nobody took serious or something like that. But he did that one thing. So yeah. So yeah, maybe so, Badman. That's a good point, you know. But anyway, getting back to our queen here, and of course Elle and Jesse. Like I say every week, these 3 are really good at what they do. I mean, certainly Rosa and Elle as actresses, and Jesse is a stunt woman. I mean, they're just super duper at what they do. But as I also say every week, it sure don't hurt that they're pretty, because they are pretty. And super professional as well, you know. So what is this, Angelus? What do you got going over there, boy? Let's not forget Rosa or so. And this we have the Oscar for most outstanding family goes to the Little Army. Yeah, that's right.
Those are the days.
Well,
we never forget this.
Oh, I think she does. She knows we're here. You know, she loves us. We love her, you know. So I think yeah, it's a mutual admiration thing going on here, you know. So it's not, you know, I mean, because Rosa's great, you know. We just really love her to death, you know. So anyway, it is what it is. Okay, tomorrow on Radio Chaos, and Angelus, I don't know if you have to work tomorrow or not, but you know, we're gonna. I guess Maxie told Angelus and I to make sure we had all of our favorite art set up, so we'll definitely do that. You know, of course, folks gonna know what. There's 3 pieces of art that Cran did for me that I really like. Angelus got off tomorrow. You know, yeah, that's right, she did, and yeah, that's exactly right. You know, Rosa did mention us at WonderCon 2022. I remember that was cool. That shout out. But yeah, we're gonna go over some art here, and you know, I know I'm going to stay away from AI art because to me, I think we're just going to, you know, I'm going to really concentrate on the art that I like that say Cran's done for me. Matu is currently working on one for me. She's not done with it, but you know, I can still show, you know, the draft of it, and it looks awesome. And then of course Channel's art, you know, I think her art is, I think Channel's art, I think she should be doing commissions, I think, you know, but she doesn't know what to charge and all that. So I get it, you know, but Channel's really good. So, but we're going to have all kinds of good art to show here. I think Maxie will have some of his favorite. And certainly he'll probably put up a couple of pieces that Cran did for him. And I think Angelus had a couple of pieces that Cran did for him as well. So those will probably be involved. There we'll probably get to see those, but we'll see a whole bunch of different art, which is going to be pretty cool, so join us for that one at roughly 23 hours after the beginning of this stream. We have that Radio Chaos stream. And as I also like to remind everybody, and we do this also on the Radio Chaos stream, look at that. Angela says he got his art from Cran framed. Yep, that's yeah, I do too. Actually, well, not all of the art. She did a sketch for me. That was not a sketch, but not. I guess you could call it a commission, but it was at least a less expensive one, But a couple of them that she did for me, I got them framed as well, and I got those guys hanging up in my gym here. So I'm pretty proud of them too.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we got to invite Cran next week, in addition to trying to get, Matu, and Channel can come on certainly, but be nice, for Cran.
That would be nice. Yeah.
But anyway, as I was saying, the Alita Army, we are the most positive fandom on the internet, and we do support Alita and Rosa Salazar passionately and positively, not tivity, but positively. And, we do all kinds of things. As a matter of fact, one thing I did want to report that I didn't is that Vladi, I think I sent you an email on this or a DM that we gave that money that we had in our account to Open Bionics. So, that's pretty cool. So, it wasn't actual, there's an actual Open Bionics site here in Denver. So I'm going to go look that up and, see if I can get, tell Sarah and I can't remember the name of the person I talked to here. That's who I sent the money to. And maybe I get a tour of Open Bionics facility. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? So
that would be nice.
Yeah. But anyway, we do. God, the creek is really going off the rails here. But we do charity things, and fundraisers and stuff like that. And Disney, you see that last bullet? We're not going anywhere. We're going to stay here until you give us that sequel. And if that takes 100 years, I'm going to be here. I'll be 170 plus. All right. No, I'll be 8,170 years old or something like that. So, because I'm an 8,000-year-old power lifter, I think Den said one time. So, but we're here to stay, and we want those sequels, and we're going to keep pushing for it. And, we want Rosa in it. And we want, Elle and Jesse in it. We want all the original actors, maybe not Hugo, although he could be in a flashback. I'd be all right with that. So,
come on, Bonini Freak and Random Bomb love him too much.
I think so. Yeah,
so they have to bring him.
You see that comment that Panini Freak said something about Hugo, and she had that little thing she did where she was rubbing Hugo's face. And I said, "Oh, Panini Freak's in love with Hugo, got a crush on Hugo," and she says something funny. Like, "You think?" Something like that, Yeah. All right. So anyway, I guess that just brings us to this, I suppose, and that's why is this image here? Well, that image is there because I like it, and I'm the producer and stream manager. That's why it's there. And to paraphrase Gruwishka, I'm only here for our girl. And of course, all of us are only here for our girl and the Alita Army. We want the sequels, and that's why we're here for our girl. Okay, you got that, Disney? That's why we're here. So anyway, and that leads us to the very last thing we have to do, and that is the call to action. And that would be on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Film those sequels, baby. All right, so we will catch you next week on the Elite live stream. We'll catch you tomorrow on Radio Chaos.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita Livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.